10 steps to glow up mentally and physically. Let's go. Okay, so everyone here is probably here because they either want to improve their self mentally or physically, obviously. And I think the two of them, as I figured out sort of from trial and error of my own, is that they kind of go hand in hand in a lot of ways. I think as you glow up mentally, physically it just kind of comes behind. And I just want to start off this video saying that just because I'm saying these things, it does not at all mean that I am an expert or I know everything about these subjects. I'm just a college student who has learned a little bit through trial and error. I still struggle with a lot of these things, don't get me wrong. I'm just going to show y'all 10 steps that I found personally have helped me to have a better mindset on things and to make me feel and look better in a lot of different ways, whether it be, you know, how confident I feel, how I feel on the inside, how I treat others because of how I feel. I hope these tips help you guys, and let's get on into it. Okay, so the first tip I have is a really basic tip, but it is a game changer. It really is. It's to clean the space you're in, whether it be your room, your apartment. Whenever you clean the space you're in and just pick things up around your room, make up your bed daily, that is a really important one that I found has helped me a lot. But just small things like that make such a big difference. Whenever I wake up and my room is a mess, or when I go to bed and my room is a mess, I just feel like the rest of my life is kind of a mess. Another thing kind of with cleaning is clean out your wardrobe. If you go in your closet and you see something that you haven't worn in a year, get rid of it. If when you wear it, it doesn't make you feel confident or happy, get rid of it. I just did a big closet clean out. After I got rid of all those clothes, I felt like a weight was lifted off me. It's like all these things that I owned that I didn't need and that other people could benefit from. So go through your closet, get rid of some things that you don't need, clean your room, make up your bed. They're all really important and will honestly help your mindset. Okay, tip number 2 is to figure out where in your life you want to improve and make a game plan. So I think a lot of us struggle, like me included, with saying you want something to change and just being like, oh, I'll change it tomorrow. Like you want this drastic change or this even small change in your life, but you're not willing to put in the effort to make it change. So you need to figure out what you want to change, make a list if you're a list person, or just make a mental list, whatever, of ways to change it. So like an example, I want to eat healthier. So you need to make a mental or literal list and figure out ways you can eat healthier. I can only eat out twice a week. I'm going to substitute chips for a healthier thing. But you need to make a game plan for how you're going to do that and not just say you're going to do it, because saying you're going to do it is not going to get it done. Okay, tip number 3 is drink water. I know it's hard, but it is so important. So if you are drinking soda right now, or if you're drinking anything like that, like that's okay, but try to limit the amount of soda or carbonated or sugary drinks that you're consuming. For me, the way that I did this was my New Year's resolution one year was to do a year without soda. And after that year without soda, I never really have craved soda. Maybe a few times, but after I did that, the want for a sugary drink whenever I have a meal just basically completely went away, and all I drink is water. Even if someone offers me another drink, I'll usually be like, no, I want water. And another way that I found is easier to drink more water is to drink your water without ice or room temperature, because I feel like it's just easier to drink because it's not so cold and you don't even realize it and you finish an entire bottle. Okay, tip number 4 is to clean your skin and don't be lazy about it. As y'all can see in the thumbnail, my skin was looking really slack a few months ago, or maybe even like 6 months ago. Even though I was taking good care of my skin, I was washing it, you know, I was doing all that stuff. Taking care of your skin goes beyond just washing it. It is getting a good night's sleep. It is drinking water. It is washing your pillowcase more often. Eating better. I feel like whenever I have clear skin, I also just feel better about myself and I feel happier. So taking care of your skin is just a small step that is something that really can make a big difference. Tip number, what is this? 5 is go to bed earlier and get up earlier. And I know that is so tough, and I obviously sometimes don't listen to this, But I found when I go to bed like 11:30, get up 8:30-ish, 8, I feel so much better throughout the day. I feel like I have so much more energy. I want to get things done. I have more time to get things done. At this point now, when I wake up late, I genuinely feel kind of guilty because I feel like I've just wasted the day and wasted time that I could be productive and do things that are meaningful. And I think a way you can do this is to set a time. Say, I am going to bed at this time. So plan in advance, start getting ready for bed earlier, get your shower earlier. If you want to watch Netflix, start watching Netflix earlier so that you're not in the middle of an episode, 11:30 rolls around, you're like, let me finish this episode, and then you just keep on doing that over and over. So that is something that really can clear your mind the more sleep you get. Number 6 is to change your mindset on what food is. Something that I've kind of thought about recently is, at base level, what is food? And it is, I'm a Christian, God gave us food to fuel our bodies. Like, base level, that is what food does. It fuels our bodies so that we can run, so we can, walk, so we can pick up things. Anything you do, food fuels our bodies, so our body is capable of doing those things. I think of it, God gave us these whole foods, fruits, vegetables. So having a balanced diet and bringing those things that God gave us, those whole foods that God gave us to fuel our bodies, putting a lot of those into your diets. And that's not to say at all that you should not, eat a piece of cake if you want one. But I think a balance is key and moderation is key. Don't feel guilty and feel bad if you do want to eat something else, but just eat it in moderation. So if you want a piece of cake, don't eat 5 pieces of cake, eat one and satisfy that craving that you have, and continue on and don't think about it. Don't restrict yourself or feel like you can't eat a certain food. I think it's all about moderation and balance. That is the key to perspective on eating and what food is. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but my 7th tip is to replace unhealthy foods in your pantry with healthier alternatives. So for our family, or for me, I guess, I love chips and salty things. I also really love sweets. I asked my mom, or whenever she grocery shops, I asked her to get popcorn that's lightly salted, because that is a better alternative than chips. Or you can, replace regular pasta with black bean pasta or chickpea pasta, things like that. So just little changes in your house for things that you would eat on a daily basis or you'd eat a lot, and you can kind of trick yourself into eating healthier. And that doesn't mean get healthier alternatives that taste really bad, but you can find some that taste really good but are also good for you. That's a good way to get healthier without completely missing out on things that you enjoy. So my 8th tip would be to move your body daily, and this does not whatsoever mean doing an intense, crazy workout every single day, but just, going out for a walk, doing a small target workout for your abs or for your, legs. It gets your adrenaline pumping, it gets your body sweating. Just any sort of movement like that I think is really good to have a better mindset. What I like to do usually when I work out is rotate workouts. So I'll have a day that I do ab workouts, I'll have a day that I do leg workouts, I'll have a day that I do arm workouts, and I kind of just rotate those, and I don't do it every day. Or I'll just go on a walk. And going out in the sun, going outside is also, for me personally, it makes me have such a better outlook on things. And when I get some sunshine and get a little bit of tan, I always feel better with a little bit of a tan. Anything like that, I think, makes me feel happier. It makes me feel better about myself. And like I've accomplished something, going for a walk, even though that isn't a lot, you've done something, you've done something with yourself for the day. Kind of like making up your bed, you've done something. Okay, so tip number 9 is a really important tip, and I need to follow this as well, and I think a lot of teenagers today, and just anyone today, really needs to think about this, and it is that you need to set realistic standards for yourself and realize that what you see on social media is not real. I think with today's age, with social media, it is so hard to look at a picture of a girl with the tiniest waist, with the perfect body, and say that you should look like that it's realistic for you to look like that, and you need to do whatever it takes for you to look like that. And that's just not a healthy mindset. Fitness and health and well-being should not be about looking a certain way, but about feeling a certain way. You shouldn't eat healthy to look like this girl on Instagram or, you know, this boy on Instagram or whatever. But you need to do it to feel good, you know, to feel like your best self. And when you feel good, you're gonna look good and you're gonna be happier, because I feel like happiness always looks the best. Yeah, just set realistic standards for yourself and know your limits, and know when you're pushing yourself too much, and know when you're not pushing yourself enough. It's good to have motivation and to push yourself, but don't push yourself to the point of feeling really bad about yourself or anything like that. Okay, this is the last thing, but I think it is the most important. I think it is to remember what Jesus says about you, and remember that despite anything, you are beautiful and you are wonderfully made. And we can look in Psalm 139 and in verse 17. It says, "How precious are your thoughts about me, O God. They cannot be numbered. I cannot even count them. They outnumbered the grains of sand. And when I wake up, you are still with me." And then in verse 14, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made," Psalm 139 is a really good chapter to, whenever you're feeling down about yourself, just to read and remember that God made you and He knew you before you were even born, and you are so beautiful, even despite anything else you may think about yourself. And I think reading the Bible is also a really good way to stay good mentally. Reading the Bible daily, getting into the Word, realizing what God says about you and that it's so true. No matter what anyone else says, the only thing that really matters is what God thinks about you. I think a good way to do this is to have someone keep you accountable, text a friend, say, "I really want to start reading my Bible more," or "I really want to start eating healthy. I really want to do these things," and ask them to send you a text daily or a few times a week to make sure you're accountable in doing these things. It can be hard whenever you're just doing it by yourself, because you can blow it off and say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." But if someone says, "Hey, do it," you're like, I don't want to let them down, and you don't want to let yourself down too, so you're probably going to be more likely to do it. Okay guys, so that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!